You ever stop and think about the things that almost broke you? The moments that made you question everything? The times when life knocked you flat on your back and you swore you weren't getting up this time? See, life don't care about your plans. It doesn't care how good your heart is, how hard you worked, or how much you wanted it to be easy. Life is gonna hit you, and when it does, you got two choices. Stay down and let it break you, or stand up and let it build you. The struggles you faced, the pain you've endured, and the moments that nearly broke you, those are the very things that shaped you into the man you are today. Trauma doesn't just leave scars, it forges strength. It forces you to grow in ways that comfort never could. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every battle you had to fight alone has made you tougher, sharper, and more resilient. But when you're in the middle of it, when life is coming at you from all directions and you feel like you can't take another hit, it's hard to see the bigger picture. It's easy to think, why me? Why does it have to be this hard? But here's the truth. The pain you've experienced wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you. It was meant to build a version of you that can handle what's coming next. Because life doesn't get easier. The only thing that changes is your ability to handle it. There are moments in life when you have to make a decision. When you've been knocked down so many times that getting back up feels impossible. But that moment, that exact moment, is where toughness is born. See, you don't become strong when everything is easy. You don't build resilience when life hands you everything on a silver platter. The fire you've walked through, the battles you've fought, those are what turn you into a warrior. Real toughness isn't about pretending you're okay when you're not. It isn't about acting like nothing hurts. True strength is about looking at your pain, standing face to face with everything that tried to break you, and saying, you don't own me. You don't define me. You built me, but you will never break me. That's power. That's real control. And that's what separates those who merely survive from those who thrive. You've met people who had it easy, people who never had to fight for anything, never had to struggle, and when life throws challenge their way, they fall apart. But not you. You've been through too much to let anything stop you now. You've already seen rock bottom, and yet you're still standing. And if you can survive your worst days, what in this world could possibly defeat you now? So don't run from your past. Don't resent the pain that made you. Embrace it. Own it. Because everything you've been through has prepared you for the greatness that's ahead. The struggles weren't there to punish you. They were there to sharpen you. They were there to teach you what you're made of. And if you're still here, still pushing, still striving for more, that means you've already won. Now, go be the man you were built to be. Life is going to knock you down. That's a guarantee. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how kind you are, or how hard you work. There will come a moment when you feel like the world is against you. And when that moment comes, you have a choice. You can stay down, let the pain consume you, and believe that this is where your story ends. Or you can stand up, look life in the eye, and say, not today. That choice right there is what separates those who give up from those who become unstoppable. You weren't given an easy path, and maybe that's never seemed fair. Maybe you've spent nights wondering why you had to go through so much while others had it easier. But here's what most people don't realize. An easy life doesn't make a strong man. A life without struggle doesn't teach resilience. The ones who never had to fight for anything don't know how to handle real battles when they come. But you've been through it. You've felt pain, disappointment, heartbreak, and failure. And yet, here you are, still standing, still fighting. And that means something. Pain is a teacher. It shows you who you really are when everything is stripped away. It challenges you, tests you, and forces you to dig deeper than you ever thought possible. And in that process, you become stronger. You learn to trust yourself, to rely on your own strength, to stand tall even when the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You stop looking for easy and start looking for growth, Because the moment you realize that your struggles were not meant to break you, but to shape you, that's when everything changes. But here's the thing, getting up once isn't enough. Life will keep testing you. Every time you think you've made it, there will be another challenge, another obstacle, another moment where you feel like you can't go on. And that's when you have to remind yourself who you are. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are built for this. You've already survived worse. You've already proven that nothing can keep you down. So when life throws another punch, don't flinch. Take the hit, shake it off, and keep moving forward. Some people spend their whole lives avoiding pain, trying to stay comfortable, hoping that life will go easy on them. But comfort doesn't create greatness. It's struggle that builds character. It's pain that sharpens your edge, and every challenge you faced has been preparing you for something greater. So don't waste time feeling sorry for yourself. Don't wish for an easier life. Wish for the strength to handle whatever comes your way, because that strength is already inside you. You just have to tap into it, own it, and use it. And when you do, there won't be a single thing in this world that can stop you. Most people think toughness is something you're born with, that some people just have it and others don't. But that's not true. Toughness is built, it's earned, and it comes from one thing: struggle. Every time life knocks you down, every time you're forced to face something you thought you couldn't handle, you're being given a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. That's where real strength comes from. Not from comfort, not from ease, but from the battles you've had to fight just to keep moving forward. The thing about pain is that it reveals who you really are. When everything is going well, when life is easy, it's simple to be confident, to feel strong. But what about when everything goes wrong? What about when you're standing in the middle of chaos, when the people you trusted let you down, when your plans fall apart, when you're left with nothing but yourself? That's when you find out what you're really made of. And the truth is, you are stronger than you think. You always have been. The only reason you don't see it yet is because you're still looking at the pain as if it was meant to destroy you. It wasn't. It was meant to prepare you. Think back to the hardest moments of your life, the times you thought you weren't going to make it through, the nights you stayed up questioning everything, the moments when you felt like giving up was the only option, and yet you're still here. Maybe you've got scars, maybe you've got memories you wish you could erase, but you're still standing. And that alone proves something powerful. Nothing has broken you yet. And if nothing has broken you yet, nothing ever will. You have to start seeing yourself for what you truly are. You are not weak. You are not a victim of your past. You are a survivor. And survivors don't just make it through the storm, they come out stronger on the other side. Every challenge, every setback, every disappointment was sharpening you, molding you into someone who can take the hits and keep going. Because this world doesn't give handouts. It doesn't feel sorry for you, but it does respect those who refuse to quit. Some people spend their lives avoiding pain, trying to find the easy way out, but not you. You've been through too much. You've seen too much. You've already been tested in ways most people can't even imagine. And that means you're built different. So the next time life throws something at you, don't question whether you can handle it. You already have, time and time again. And you will keep handling it because that's who you are. So stop seeing your past as a burden. Stop wishing things had been easier. Start realizing that every challenge made you unbreakable. And when you finally understand that, there won't be a single thing that can stop you. There are two types of people in this world: those who let their struggles define them, and those who use their struggles to build something greater. The difference isn't luck, talent, or circumstance. The difference is mindset. Life will test everyone. No one gets a free pass. But when the pressure comes, when the pain feels unbearable, when everything in you wants to quit, that's the moment you decide who you really are. You can let it break you, or you can let it forge you into something stronger. That choice is yours. The truth is, pain is unavoidable. Struggle is part of the process. But if you take a step back and really look at it, you'll realize something important. Your hardest moments didn't just happen to you, they happened for you. They weren't there to destroy you, they were there to build you. Every disappointment, every failure, every time someone doubted you, it was a lesson. It was a test to see how bad you wanted it, to see if you were willing to keep pushing, even when it felt impossible. And every time you got back up, every time you refused to give in, you became stronger, tougher, and more unstoppable. Think about the people who have had it easy, the ones who never had to fight for anything, the ones who never faced real adversity. At first, it might seem like they're the lucky ones, but watch what happens when life finally tests them. They don't know how to handle it. They don't have the experience, the resilience, or the toughness to push through because they've never had to. But you've been through the fire. You've had to figure things out on your own. You've had moments where you felt completely alone, but you still found a way forward. That's not weakness, that's power. Most people run from struggle. They do everything they can to avoid pain, but you don't grow in comfort. You don't develop strength when things are easy. Strength comes from resistance. It comes from being tested, from being pushed to your limits, and then finding out you can go even further. And once you realize that, once you understand that your past wasn't a curse, but a gift, you stop seeing yourself as a victim. You stop wishing things had been easier. You start appreciating the fact that everything you went through made you the person you are today. So don't hide from your past. Don't be ashamed of the struggles you've endured. Own them, embrace them, because those experiences gave you something most people will never have: the ability to keep going when everything tells you to stop. And that's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes you different. The next time life knocks you down, don't flinch. Don't question whether you're strong enough to handle it. You already have, and you will again. Because that's who you are, unbreakable. Life has a way of testing you when you least expect it. Just when you think you have it all figured out, something happens that shakes you to your core. Maybe it was losing someone you loved. Maybe it was betrayal, failure, or feeling like you weren't enough. Whatever it was, it left a mark. It made you question everything. And in that moment, you had two choices. You could let it consume you, let it make you bitter, let it convince you that you weren't strong enough to handle it, or you could take that pain, stand up, and decide that no matter what happens, you won't break. Pain changes people. It can either weaken you or turn you into something unstoppable. The difference is what you do with it. Most people spend their lives running from pain, trying to avoid struggle, searching for comfort. But what they don't realize is that comfort doesn't make you grow. Comfort doesn't prepare you for the real world. Struggle does. Pain does. The moments when you had nothing left but still found a way to keep going, those moments built you. They gave you something that no amount of easy living ever could. Think about the people you admire, the ones who inspire you. Are they the ones who had everything handed to them? Or are they the ones who had to fight for everything they got? Strength isn't given, it's earned. And you earn it by going through the fire and refusing to let it burn you down. By standing tall even when life is trying to crush you. By looking at every obstacle as an opportunity to prove to yourself just how powerful you really are. The world doesn't owe you anything. It's not going to stop and feel sorry for you, but that's okay because you don't need pity. You don't need an easy path. You were built for the struggle. You were made to endure, to push through, to rise above. And every time life tested you, every time you thought you wouldn't make it, you did. That's proof that you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. That's proof that you have what it takes to overcome anything. Your past wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you, to shape you into someone who doesn't quit, someone who doesn't back down, someone who knows their worth and refuses to let circumstances define them. You are not a victim of what happened to you. You are a survivor, a warrior, a force to be reckoned with. So don't look back with regret. Don't wish things had been easier. Be grateful for every challenge, every setback, every tough moment that made you who you are. Because who you are now, that's someone unstoppable. And the world better be ready, because nothing, not pain, not failure, not doubt, can hold you back anymore.